Hi guys, it's Miss Simon. So I wanted to do this video today to help you guys with writing. So you guys today should be on your third body paragraph. You've already done your introduction and your body paragraphs 1 and 2. So for today, what we're going to do is we're just going to review what we need in a body paragraph. And what we know is, what's nice is if we know how to do body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, we know how to do body paragraph 3. So we're just going to start by making sure we review those steps. And then I'll show you how to attach your essay to the assignment and turn it in. Okay, just a reminder, I have been sending back comments on your essays that you guys are turning in. So make sure you go into your essays and look at those comments that I have. I've highlighted some things, told you some things that you did well, told you some things that you might want to tweak or change. So make sure you go in there and make those corrections, because it's going to be a lot easier when we get to the revising and the editing step if you make those corrections as we go. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're just going to review what we need in a body paragraph, and then I will model mine. Okay, so this is what you guys see on your assignments, and I'm going to click on the notes here because I want to review what those notes are. All right, so you've written 2 of your reasons for your persuasive essay. So you're on your 3rd reason, which should be your 3rd reason that you listed in your introduction. So that just keeps your paper organized. So remember, our body paragraphs for a persuasive essay, the purpose of them is to give the reader 3 reasons with details in order to convince them of your argument. So every one of your body paragraphs needs to start with a transition sentence. Okay, which we know first starts with a transition word, and then it clearly states your reason, so the reader knows what you're going to be talking about in your paragraph. So for example, since this is my 3rd body paragraph, I might start with a transition word such as finally. Okay, so I might say, finally, it is necessary for students to have more recess times because it keeps them healthy. Okay, so clearly I started with my transition word and I told my reader what I'm going to be talking about. And notice how I'm still stating my argument of more recess time in that first sentence. We need to make sure we're doing that with every single body paragraph that we're writing. Then we have 3 to 4 detail sentences where we're going to tell the reader and support our reasoning with details. Okay, so with that being said, you guys already came up with your details in the pre-writing. Okay, so you just go back and make those details into well-written sentences. And they should have 3 to 4 of those. And then finally, you have a closing sentence, which wraps up your paragraph and tells the reader you're moving on, in this case, to your conclusion. Okay, so it kind of wraps it up for them, lets them know that you're done with that reason. Okay, so all of these sentences should come out to a good 5 or 6 well-written sentences, and then tomorrow you guys will move on to your conclusion. Okay, so I am going to, okay. So remember guys, I'm telling you, making sure you're writing this before you're typing it. I know I keep saying it every day, but I'm really trying to stress it because we know that when we are writing, it is a little bit harder when we are typing. We forget about those sentence structure and stuff like that. So I'm writing it just like you guys are. So I wrote my 3rd body paragraph here, okay? And now I'm going to type it for you. Remember, you can be writing it on the drafting page that in the packet that you guys got before we left school. So that packet, remember, looks like this. So some of you guys might have been writing it on this drafting, which is fine, and then you will type it in that Google Doc. So you'll write your 3rd body paragraph on this drafting page, and then you'll type it in that Google Doc. Okay, so let me go to my screen so I can show you guys, so you see what you guys see. All right, so this is what you guys see on your screen. Okay, it has those notes that we just went through, and then you'll have the lesson here. Okay, now you're going to add or create. Go to Google Drive. Okay, and if you need to find that, if it's not one of the things you've recently accessed, you can just, like I said, type it in here. Persuasive. Okay, I'll find it. And as you can see, it's loading it on there for me. Okay, when it stops loading, you can be able to click on it. And as you can see here, you have your introduction, your first body paragraph, and your second body paragraph. Now you can just go ahead and continue to type it on here. Okay, and it'll let you just add it right on in there. All right, so I am going to start with my transition sentence. It is my third body paragraph, so I'm going to start with finally. An increase in recess time will allow students to live healthier lives. Okay, there's my transition sentence. I started with a transition word of finally. I've clearly stated my reason as well as restating that argument there. Okay, so now I need my 3 to 4 detail sentences. Okay, so more time, and I can just go back just so I know. Okay, go back to that organizer. Okay, because it says here, students allows for longer time in the sun, so more vitamin D. So that's gonna be my first detail that I put. So let me go back to my essay. More time outside allows the bodies to soak in more sunlight. This sunlight allows for an increase in vitamin D. Vitamin D is necessary for students to develop strong bones. Okay, so there I kind of explained my detail of more vitamin D, and I also kind of included a fact in there to back up my reasoning. All right, so I go back to my organizer. Okay, my next detail is students are exercising more, so they are burning more calories. Back to my essay. Students are also exercising more, which means that they are burning more calories. Okay. All right, and let's go see what my last detail is. Future athletes are able to discover the sport they excel in. Okay, so now I'll go back and kind of add to that. This extra recess time will allow future athletes to discover the sport that they will excel in. And now I just kind of need to add a closing sentence. So my closing sentences kind of go along with this athlete sentence. So I'm going to say schools around the country could have future sports stars walking through their halls All right, so if I notice, guys, I can kind of go back right now and notice, hey, this is underlined in red, so I can right click it. Tells me I need to change this. I spelled it wrong, so I can make that correction right away. All right, now I'm gonna just go back and read my third body paragraph, making sure I have everything and then it makes sense. So finally, an increase in recess time will allow students to live healthier lives. More time outside allows the bodies to soak in more sunlight. This sunlight allows for an increase in vitamin D. Vitamin D is necessary for students to develop strong bones. Students are also exercising more, which means that they are burning more calories. This extra recess time will allow future athletes to discover the sport that they will excel in. Schools around the country could have future sports stars walking through their halls and not even know it. Okay. So I have my transition sentence, I have my 3 to 4 details, and I have that closing sentence. Okay. So now that you have that there, okay, remember Google Docs automatically saves it for you. So you can just go back to that persuasive essay where you turn it in and look, it's already attached. So you can hit turn in, okay, hit turn in, and it is submitted for you, okay? All right, so I hope this video was helpful. Tomorrow you guys will write your conclusion paragraph and then we'll move on to editing and revising. Have a good day. See ya.